We're currently working on the watercolor masking fluid. I have 3 circles drawn on the piece of paper, and I will be masking different parts of them to show you this demonstration. I also have a brush that is a throwaway brush that I cut down, and it has a nib on the end, and I'm using that for masking. Right here I'm having a little trouble opening my masking fluid. The childproof works very well there. While working on this, I noticed that the watercolor masking is more accurate than the rubber cement and less accurate than blocking with tape. The rubber cement and the masking is very similar, but the rubber cement is going to be thicker. I'm working to fill in the circles as consistent as I can, making sure to get real close to the drawing lines. You may not be able to see there, but you will as soon as the masking dries. It dries darker than the paper. While you're working, you'll have to kind of fix the holes you see that you need to fill to make it a consistent shape. You'll also, once it's dried, you can see exactly where things are and where things aren't, and you may be able to, at that point, fill in some areas that you feel need to be touched up. You will need to dry this completely before going on to the next section where you will be adding watercolor to your piece. In this piece, I dried it for about a day. Once you put all of your watercolor down that you want, you may want to dry several times in several layers to get it dark in areas that you want to get dark. But after you've done as much as you want to do before taking off the masking, you'll need to dry it completely. Make sure that the paper is totally dry. In this demonstration, I have blotted dry the masking areas because they were still had some wet areas, but that was not going to hurt the paper. I'm also going over the watercolor area several times to make sure I don't miss anything. I wanted to show exactly what type of line you can get, so I went over the edges really well, which you'll see me doing in this demonstration. The thing that's really nice about the masking tape is you can tell exactly where the color will be and where the masking will be. This is not as easy to tell with the tape being being a blue, and also the it's harder to tell with the rubber cement. So then I go in and I blot the different areas, making sure everything is dry. Now the paper is very dry. This is just drawing the masking on top. Now with my fingers, I am rolling and rubbing off the masking fairly gently. This does seem to come off easier than the rubber cement. Though using your fingers to make sure you don't miss any pieces is very, very good to do. Sometimes you're able to pull up a big piece all at once. That's kind of nice. And I'm double checking the paper, make sure that there's nothing on it. And this is the end of the demo.